Good evening, everybody, and welcome to First Generation Dad podcast. I am your host, Tony7, and with me is my partner in crime, the ageless, the wonderful, the fantasy football fanatic himself, Will Morgan.
How you doing, brother? How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm just glad to be here. Pun, what's up? I got your name
President
right.
Pun. We got President Pun in the house. She's gonna have to give us a State of the Union one day.
She is. I support that. Did you see those terrible puns I posted in the Double XP group earlier?
I didn't see them yet.
Bro, you'll crack. It's great when you get done.
I gotta check them out.
Also, big thanks to Raise Energy and RevSports.com for sponsoring Pinfall streams. Check out RevSports.com. Use the code GGN10 to save 15% off their website, and that supports us as well. So please definitely give them a like. So I told a bunch of people I got a special gift this week, and I want to tell about it first. We'll start with that, and we'll dive into what you had suggested earlier.
Okay.
So a little backstory. There's a restaurant called Freebird's World Burrito. Now they're in Texas. They're mainly in Texas right now. I don't think there's really any outside of Texas, but they used to have a decent footprint in the Midwest until they had to kind of scale it back. But think like Chipotle, but on crack. Like absolutely amazing. Multiple burrito sizes, different flavor tortillas, queso that actually has flavor. Like absolutely amazing place. Okay. Well, when I still follow their Facebook page, every once in a while I comment on photos, like that 50-year-old man commenting on an 18-year-old girl in a creepy way. I'm just lurking on their website. Oh, I just want their burrito in my mouth. Oh my God. Like it gets creepy. I'll admit it. But they had posted some of his pictures and would you kiss your love in front of Freebirds? And I comment that I would start an OnlyFans channel where I sit there in a polo and cargo shorts and tell dad jokes while I eat Freebird's World Burrito. Well, one of the managers for one of the stores in Katy, Texas, her name is Ren, she noticed it. Her and her assistant manager, we commented back and forth, talked for a little bit, and they sent me a care package.
Oh my gosh.
Of some stuff. So I'm going to show off what they sent me. And a big shout out to them. If you are in Texas, go to Freebirds. It is the best fucking burritos you'll ever have. And they sent me some cool shit. Like, I'm serious. So first is this hat, which I will now wear forever. I'll fix
awesome, man.
So it came in this box. This is what they normally do their delivery stuff in. Like if you get delivery, this is what your food comes in. They spelled my name right, which I also appreciate. And then they sent me a nice letter with their cards, their logo, just saying thank you. A little bit of the bird for me in Arizona, which I appreciate.
There you go.
Couple of masks, mask up when you're supposed to. Don't be a dick about it. Just get it done.
That's right.
I appreciate these.
Awesome, man.
They sent me a marshmallow. It was like a Rice Krispie treat. Their Rice Krispie treat. My son stole it because he remembered him and grabbed it out of my hand. A little fucking gremlin and disappeared into a hole somewhere and came back out like 2 minutes later with the saran wrap going, here, it's gone. I didn't even get to fucking eat any of it, asshole.
He gave you the wrapper? That's just so disrespectful.
Like, seriously, bro. Like, chocolate chip cookie, mother chip cookie.
Oh, he can't have that.
You can kiss my white ass. See, that's mine. And now they call this it was the Monster Brownie. Back in the day, they used to call them pot brownies because they actually make them these little pots. There's no cannabis in it because, Texas are a bunch of stuck-up assholes. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
There's no cannabis in it, but, that's what they call it. These are the best fucking brownies I've ever had. Like, hands down, I don't mean just from a store. I mean, these are the best fucking brownies I've ever had. They sent me a couple of lanyards.
Oh, there you go.
And some stickers because, I fucking love stickers, right?
There you go, man.
I already have one on my laptop. And then, along with a couple of buttons as well, then, Freebird's best sauce. This is stuff right here.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Put this on a Chipotle burrito and make it instantly better than anything they could ever dream of.
There you go.
But no, and so seriously, if you are ever in the Katy, Texas area, stop into that Freebirds. Tell Ren and Stephanie, the assistant manager that was also in on it, thank you from me.
I don't know how close we were there when I was with Josh. I don't know how close we were there.
There's Freebirds in Houston. Like Josh has been there. Like he goes there on a regular basis, and I told him he can go fuck himself for it too. Just so that's clear.
Because we're in Houston, and then
Yeah,
and then after that, we're into his town of Austin. So I don't know how close we were to one.
Oh,
gosh,
yeah. Houston, Austin. Yeah, next time I think we're gonna have to just plan a pinfall event and just go down to Houston because I mean Galveston's right there, so we can just go down to the Gulf Coast and hang out on the beach. Oh, yeah. But I will spend a large amount of time in Freebirds. Like, just no question. That's where I'm gonna be.
I want to go now. I want to go and try it out.
It's so good. Like, and one of the things that I think is really cool is like the style inside. Like, it's very eclectic. Like, there's definitely a '60s theme. Like, usually all the ones that I've been into, like, they have a bike hanging from the roof, like an actual motorcycle hanging from the roof. Awesome. All '60s theme. And they'll have sheets of the aluminum foil, and you can make different stuff, and they let you just put them up, like all over, so you can just see like what the kids do, like what the kids create. People will just create like different characters and stuff like that and get really into it. I've seen some really cool stuff in those, but like, yeah, it's my favorite place to get a burrito, hands down.
Okay.
But yeah. And so again, thank you to Red Stephanie for sending me this stuff because I love it. As you can tell, I got a big head, so this is what it's going to have to sit at for now until I can change it when we go to break. But thank you so much for your support and your love. And I love that I'm not the only creeper now because they creep on my page, and it's nice to get it returned.
They creep on yours, and you creep on theirs, so it's even love, or even stalkercism. I don't know how you want to say it.
It's burrito Stockholm syndrome is what it is. Like we're stuck together by mutual love. We're held together by the queso. That's what it is. Like the flavor of the queso just bonds us together. But no, it was great. Like, and that was like stuff like that. That's really cool. That's so cool, thank you again to that.
That's cool, man.
What isn't your guys' fantasy football stuff launching soon? Like, when does that?
We hope by tomorrow the footage will be out, and once the footage is out and everything is out there, then we can talk more about it. We just have to wait for that to hit first. Once that hits, then we can be more open and honest about everything that went down. But we gotta wait until that footage hits first. I think it's tomorrow's the schedule, but I'm not sure.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm not doing any fantasy this year because I mean, just with the other stuff I'm going to be doing with Pinfall, and I kind of want to focus on my stand-up this fall. I had to turn down a couple of shows because I'm not ready to do a half hour yet, and that kind of broke my heart. So you know what? I think I want to kind of put some energy back to that. On that note, for those of you watching and for those of you listening through our various resources, thanks to Anchor on like Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Next week will be the final episode of the season for First Generation Dad. With everything Will's got coming up, how the fall is going to be, a lot of sports stuff going on. I am going to be very engaged in all of that. And like I said, I also want to put some more energy into my stand-up this fall. Probably beginning March, April, after football season is let up, Will and I have recovered and stopped arguing. But, Will's going to need some time to recover from what's going to happen with the Saints this year. So I want to give him that time to heal from.
It's not going to be easy being a Saints fan. I tell you that, boy.
I would say Saints, Texans, and Cowboys fans, the ones that I feel bad for the most this year. Because, like, Broncos fans at least have hope with Teddy Bridgewater. I think it's going to be a dumpster fire anyway, but they at least have hope.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are dealing – I mean, Jameis, like, actually looked decent.
He looked all right the other night. So.
And, I mean, and he did have LASIK surgery. And obviously that can make a difference in how you see him,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that they better run with Jameis, like, seriously. I think that starting Taysom Hill is just that would remove any remaining credibility Sean Payton has with me if he starts Taysom Hill.
Right. If you have, I'll take Taysom Hill than any other position, just not QB.
Yeah, and that's the thing is they can use him as that utility. Maybe bring him out for a wildcat every once in a while. Like I don't have a problem with that. Oh God, Texans will surprise me. I mean, are they going to be the first team? Was it 0-17? Is it going to be Texans at 0-17 first ones?
They're gonna go completely winless. Oh, I forgot to say something when Kay was on here earlier. I might be up her neck of the woods, November. So I guess I have to take back what I said. I would never go to West Virginia because I got an invite around November. So
well,
I gotta take that.
Pop in.
I gotta take that back. Because I may actually go. So I'll have to take that back.
Depending on where you go, you'll probably have a great time. And honestly, West Virginia is turning into a pretty good place. I feel like they've got a lot of stuff they can offer now, not Mothman aside. Which, I mean, that's a big part right there.
Well, I'm coming to see you and Pun first. I'm coming to see you, Pun, and Linda first. I'm coming to see you, Pun, and Linda first, and then I'm gonna finish the rest of the trip out. But yeah, definitely, because I think I'm gonna come up there.
All right. Well, let me know. That's awesome. And hey, you'll become a well-traveled man by the end of this.
Wow.
Well-traveled man. Wow. I know. Well-traveled.
Oh man. I don't know. Back in the day, calling someone well-traveled was not exactly
a good thing.
Not exactly a good thing. But I don't know. We're taking a lot of things back in 2021.
Yes, we are. But definitely.
Okay, that is not at all. I mean, well, okay. Who am I? It could be. I don't know, right? It could be both.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe the travels leads to the travels, right? Right? Variety is the spice of life, they say. All right. Well,
but look, that's the plan. I'm coming to see Kay. I'm coming to see Pun. I'm gonna come see my man. I gotta come see Tyler. I gotta go see my boy. I gotta see Tyler. I gotta see my boy. I got my boy for a little bit. So definitely.
There you go. We will figure that out. Okay. Yes. Now I on that terrible note.
Oh god.
Okay,
so I think we're gonna take that a quick second for that and go to break so that you
go
can
to break.
When we come back, we are going to talk about some dad wisdom. We haven't done that in a while. We're gonna do some dad wisdom.
I did that in a minute.
Up like we do. No one does us like we do. Always go hard with this crew. Welcome to the show, let's make moves. Nothing's gonna stop us, it's not to get rough. Turn the whole room up, it's never enough. Let's go, 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 let's go.
All right, and thank you for sticking with us. That first commercial was for the Pinfall podcast, the flagship podcast of Pinfall Streams, which airs on Sunday nights right here at, is it 10:05 Eastern? Right?
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock on Sundays.
10 Eastern on Sundays with Will and Josh going into all things wrestling. There's a lot of good conversation about the returns of CM Punk and Brock Lesnar and Becky Lynch. And they got a lot of good content. I'm watching that because I don't have time to watch all of the wrestling program that they do. So I learn from them. And then that second commercial was for the Sports Report, which is Mondays at 10 right here on Pinfall. We dive into all things sports related. That's hosted by Will. That features me, Dirty Dan, and Tony C as well. That all things sports related, a lot going on right now. Football heating up, baseball getting into October, getting into the playoffs in October. Basketball is still a thing, even in the off season. Those guys just will not go away.
Nope.
Now, lots to talk about there. Join us on Mondays at 10 Eastern, right here on Pinfall. Don't forget to like all of the Pinfall socials so you can stay up to date with all of our shows and what's going on. YouTube, Facebook. I know Will's even got a Discord going now for us. So a lot of ways to stay engaged. We love to talk to you, see what's going on, and how we can better mentally mess you up as a person. Our coaches at Pinfall. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so you sent me a link earlier that I thought was really cool because there's some inspirational quotes that hold some really good meanings and some different things that we can talk about. So I like your idea on this. Different to talk about. So was there one that you really, really liked that you wanted to open up with?
No, I'm gonna let you start that off, and then I'll follow your lead.
Okay. All right. And even the first one on this article, and I will share the link in the chat, thanks to Gosby.com. And the first one, honestly, just really, really, I think hits home, especially for me and some of the times that I struggle. You were born to be real, not to be perfect. As dads and as men, more often than not, we are challenged to be so many different roles as a role. We're challenged with so many different things, whether it's the provider, the disciplinarian, the teacher, the head of the household, the final say, the one who gets blamed when something goes wrong, the one who's not allowed to show emotion but gets left for not being emotional.
That's so completely real, because as men, we're not allowed to show weakness. We're not allowed to show a vulnerable side at all. We have to be the tough, be all, take all person. We have to do it for ourselves. We have to do it for our significant others. And sometimes we don't get appreciated for it. And it's a shame. I don't agree with everything Anthony Mackie says, but Anthony Mackie brings up a good point. When a man walks a woman to his car, you expect him to open the car door. If a man steps to a female or steps to you the wrong way, you expect the man to handle it. But when that man needs you for whatever reason, sometimes the part isn't there. And that's what makes the whole thing wrong. So that is we have to be realer than real, and we're not allowed to show any weakness despite what might happen to us.
You see, no, and you're right. Like, there's a lot of pressure where we're not supposed to. But I think that, like, there's, even with a lot of people talking about me, and sharing stuff with my mental health and things that I've gone through. Like, I'm showing how many different ways that I'm not perfect, because I even talk about the stuff that I did that I shouldn't have done. But if you weren't real, how are you going to grow?
Right.
You like, even within, like, most, I can't say all because I haven't studied all, but, like, even most different religions, like, they talk about just understanding that you're not perfect and looking towards that higher purpose. Mm-hmm. We need to stop as men, and I think that this is where toxic masculinity comes from, because men have spent so much time being told they weren't allowed to be real that they went the complete other direction.
Right.
And I'm not condoning the behavior. I'm not saying it's okay because of that. I'm just saying that's what happens. Mm-hmm. And so if we allow not just men, but our young men and our kids, like my son's allowed to show emotion. He's allowed to get angry. I don't get mad at him for being emotional. Now, if he gets to the point where he loses control, I talk to him about working through his exercises and breathing and thinking about what he's doing. But I don't chastise my son for showing emotion.
And you shouldn't. You shouldn't. No, you shouldn't.
Men should not, cry like you cry like a girl, or let me give you a real reason to cry. That doesn't help the situation.
Nope. Makes it worse.
It does. It's just like when you punish your kids for doing something that you wanted them to do. Like, they had a bad day at school and they don't want to stay down there for dinner, so they go up to their room. And then they come back down late. Everybody's almost done. Like, oh, thanks for joining us. No, you have just handled that completely wrong. Allow them to be real and take that time, because that means they're going to show you their real side. You're going to get to know your kids on a real level.
Yep, and that's so important
to do yourself too.
And that's so that's so important this day and age, because I think our kids go awry when we don't allow them to be themselves. We don't allow them to open up to us so we can see what's going on with them. I think that messes them up down the line because we haven't bonded, and that bond is so important.
It is. It's that energy gets so built up inside of them. You know, it's just like if you have a dog that's like an active breed, you know, a collie, a healer, you know, a Dalmatian, something that's active and energetic. If you know, a husky, if you don't give them that time to get that energy out, we'll let them be that energetic self, they're going to lose their mind and you're not going to be able to control it. If you want to be able to see and understand and control your kids, especially as they're going through those vulnerable times in their teen and preteen years, you got to let them be real with you. And be real with them too, because it makes a difference.
The thing with me personally, when my son was about, I want to say 11 or 12, I didn't see him for like 6 years because his mom took him away from me, took him up to Nebraska. So I didn't see my oldest for a long time. It took about 4 of those years for me to finally find them and develop a relationship. And even then, that's only like half phone calls, broken letters, and things of that nature. It took him getting in trouble up there for him to come back down, for us to reestablish that relationship. And he's been here ever since. So if he did not get in trouble up there, I don't know what kind of relationship I would have with my oldest right now.
Well, in you know, I think that there's there, and I know that every religion has this story, but in the Bible, the story of the prodigal son. You know, man has 3 kids, and you know, gives them all a bunch of money. One of them goes out, makes a bunch of money, does well. One of them buries it in the yard, gives it back to him 2 years later, say, "Hey, I kept it safe for you." He was like, "No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted you to do something with it." But okay, whatever.
Right.
And then the third son went out, lost it all, came crawling back with nothing. And he welcomed him with open arms and love, because he did it. It doesn't matter that he failed. It matters that he did it.
Right.
And like when my son is going through, like when he's struggling at something at school, like he, you know, gets a bad grade on a paper. Okay. Now let's go back and work on that. Okay, now you learned it. Okay, good job. I'm not going to hold that bad grade. I care about him learning that. That grade's a letter. That doesn't mean jack in the grand scheme of things.
Right. You just talk it over with them. You know, what happened? Did you not study? Did you not understand something that I can help you with to make sure the next time you got it down? We need to take more of an understanding versus getting upset. And that's one thing I want to say. In the Black community, that's something that we don't do enough of. That's something that, you know, we have our kids come and make a mistake. Instead of trying to correct them and trying to understand why they made that mistake, you know, in the Black community, we get upset, punishment, time out, things of that nature, instead of us sitting down and say, hey, what happened? Did you not study for this? Did you not understand something? Come to an understanding so the next time that test comes back around, they'll be able to pass it and move on to the next thing. And I cannot stand that about people. Just take the time, take a minute to understand your kid. You will be better for it, and that kid would benefit from it greatly. There we go. Okay, 7. I think you just froze up on me. Yeah, he froze. There you go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, there you go. Okay. You back.
All right. So there is a, I saw that myself. Like even like I understand you see that a lot in the black community. Like I saw it even myself. Now I grew up in a lot of lower income areas, so I don't know if there's some correlation there, kind of bled over into the rest of it. But I saw that a lot, and I never understood, and I don't understand that. Now my mom was really good with me about that, but like if my aunts or uncles, like they weren't very good about that stuff with their kids. My grandparents were very hard about stuff. Or that, the continual lecture of, I did something wrong at home. And so now, my aunt and uncles know about it. So next time I'm at a family event, I hear about it from them.
Like you really need to hear that.
Like
you really did hear that a second time.
A second and third and fourth time. The same lecture from all the different family members that decide they want to take it on their hand to leave it to you.
Right.
That's not teaching anything to your kids.
Mm-mm.
Don't fucking do that.
It's a guilt trip.
You're teaching them that they're not allowed to fail. You're teaching your kids that you're not allowed to fail. But failure is how you learn.
Exactly. That's how you learn.
You think Carlos Mencia would have gotten as good at stealing George Lopez's jokes if he hadn't failed a bunch of times at being a comedian by himself?
Facts. Some of the best business owners in the world had businesses that failed before they finally perfected the formula to succeed.
Look at Donald Trump. He had a whole bunch of businesses fail, and he still ended up as president. I
mean,
no, but I mean, it's just like, let your kids fail and let yourselves fail. We see all these movies about these guys that lose their shit because they spent all this time, like even Field of Dreams, that guy was basically having his midlife crisis was him building a baseball field. I mean, we talk about these midlife crises that men have. It's because they get pigeonholed into this role of you've got to be a provider. You're only valued by what you provide. Right. And then they get to their mid to late 30s and they go, what the hell have I done with my life? And they start doing radical shit because they don't know what to do. They don't know what they want.
Exactly.
If you allow your kids to be real, they're going to continue to be real throughout their life. And that midlife crisis is going to be non-existent.
Yep.
Because they're not going to need it. They're going to have been doing what they wanted to the whole time.
Yep.
At worst, it's an identity crisis because they've decided to change careers.
Mm-hmm.
It changes the conversation when you allow them to be real the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And you can give yourself more of your life back by being real starting now.
And it keeps them out of jail, too, which is the most important thing you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important thing. Too many.
I would say when we come back.
Real quick. I want to talk about this before we went to break real fast.
Okay.
Everything will be okay at the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Now, my thing, that is so true, but you also have to have perspective with that too.
You have to be willing to broaden your definition of okay.
Yep. Have to be. But yeah, if you do that, if you broaden that right and explain it correctly, yeah, it can have a good meaning.
There is a Garth Brooks song, Unanswered Prayers. Okay, some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. He was talking about how he wanted to be with this chick, ended up with this other, prayed for being with this chick, didn't get an answer, ended up with the woman that he was with, runs into her 10 years later, like a high school reunion. Okay. No, you got your answer, bro. You just weren't listening.
Right.
I want to be able to be a podcaster, voiceover, comic. That's what I want my career to be. But if I just focus on just one specific path, I'm going to miss other opportunities to make it to where I want to be, or somewhere in the direction of what I want to be, if I don't broaden my expectation into what that means.
Right. Everything you do in the present will help shape your future.
Mm-hmm. Your goals become a lot more achievable when you have small ones. And I'm not saying, I want to save $10 a day. No, what I'm saying is understand, okay, for me, I want to be that stuff full time. Well, I need to work on getting better and building the base so that I can.
Right.
And, I can't just wake up tomorrow and go, I've been doing this for 18 months. Where's it at? Why am I there yet? No. How can I get back closer to that today than I was yesterday?
Right. There's no substitution for hard work, and that's something else you have to teach your kid too. Now, this is going to happen overnight. There's no substitution for hard work.
It's kind of like that old saying of, shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars.
Yep.
That's exactly it.
Perfect analogy.
You just got to be open to. You just got to stop thinking about the fact that you missed and start thinking about the fact that you landed among the stars.
Yep. I agree.
All right, so let's take a break. When we come back, nothing we're going to talk about. Games you can play with your kids.
Heck yeah.
We'll be right back. Thank you for sticking with us. That first commercial was for a really good podcast, which airs every other Tuesday right here on Pinfall, featuring Kay and Josh diving into all things TV and movie related. Lots of nostalgia going on, a lot of good convo. And then that second commercial was for
Geek Gauntlet.
Geek Gauntlet. Okay, sorry, I was trying to look at my notes. I wrote it down. I forgot. Geek Gauntlet, Will's podcast, live on Twitch on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And then put it up on Pinfall's page Tuesday morning. Saturday nights is it 10 Eastern on Saturdays?
10 p.m. on Saturday night. William Morgan Media on Twitch. Yes.
And definitely support him. That is a great show that he just made affiliate, and that's why it's live on Twitch, and then it shows up on Pinfall on Tuesday. Make sure to support him and show him love for his talent there, because he definitely deserves it.
Thank you, sir.
So games with your kids, man.
Man, there's a ton of games you can play with your kid right now. He froze up on us. You good?
And,
He's
the
back.
The faces that you freeze
He's
on
back.
are great. Like every time you look so concerned or something. Yeah.
He's back.
Okay.
Oh man, but there's a ton of games you can play with your kids. Now some of them got remade. If you're talking about video game systems, some of them got remade. Like a lot of the games on those old Namco collections, you could play. I mean, my son would probably look at me sideways, but you could play Pac-Man, Centipede, Dig Dug. I still love Dig Dug. I'm gonna say in front.
My parents did not play games at all growing up. I think Dad played Army Man Air Combat like once, and generally they just let us do our own thing. But very specifically, we did play a lot of board games. But when I requested, because they did it for me, concerned or constipated one, yes, that is That's the one pun. But we were actually just doing this the other day. Do you guys happen to be familiar with the Cat's Cradle string game thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
All that,
so-
yeah.
Right. And there's like, I was trying to find all of them because there was this really old book that we got it from. It was some of those from like, I don't even remember. I don't want to say the 60s. I want to say it might have been later than that. It might have been closer to the 80s. And it was like a learn everything type book. And it had all kinds of pictures for all these different things for Cat's Cradle. And I was Googling that like last month.
Wow.
And I could not find half of them. I don't really remember how to do them. Like we were trying to do it the other day with Mom. She was trying to help out too. But even she was like, because it's been 20 years. Like I was like, we did that a lot growing up. And like card houses. I know we sounded like a bunch of like really terribly under rock children, but no, hey, listen, the class.
No, I just say
you can't go wrong
with
card games and things like
you
that.
Can't. No, I no judgments. I did a lot of that. Like my mom and I would play cards.
Hey, Linda. What's up, Linda?
What's up, Linda?
What's up?
I played a lot of like. That's how I learned how to play Rummy. That's how I learned how to play.
Right. Yeah.
Mom
did Rummy.
That's how I learned how to play poker. That's how I learned how to play bullshit. War.
Dad did poker. Yeah.
Remember bullshit? We used to play that when we were at school.
Yeah.
Teachers put around that we could scream bullshit.
That was right. That was the only reason you played it. It was so exciting.
But
you're
with
fine.
Another game. So Pokemon Unite announced recently. Nintendo company and Pokemon and the Pokemon company announced that Pokemon Unite will be launching on mobile next month in September. Yeah, I played a lot of pool too. Pun. Yeah, I learned that one a lot. I learned that one too. But Pokemon Unite will be launching on mobile next month. It is cross-platform, so and you don't have to have like a Nintendo account. But if you want to do the cross-platform thing, you do. But like you can join your kids in lobbies. Everybody, because Android and iPhone, and you can play that. It just got me thinking, like, what other video games you play with your kids? Minecraft is a great game to play with your kids.
Yeah, that's a good.
Oh my goodness! And Ark Survival, because you can talk about dinosaurs.
Right, and it's got all that really in-depth crafting stuff. Like, God.
Oh yeah, my son plays that game so much.
Yeah.
And he gets they get into it, like they've got whole like breeding sections in their bases, and I'm just like, you're 11 and you understand about breeding? Like, wait a minute, what?
Hold on, now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Like, Dad, I learned it from video games.
Hold on, now. Hold on now. Me and my son, we play a lot of Streets of Rage. We play all 4 of those. They're on Steam now. The first 3 are super cheap. The last one's a little bit high, but the first 3 are super cheap. The NBA 2K21. We still play it. We got that from Epic Games. We play a lot of that. I think he wants to play World of Warships. I think
It's an interesting game.
I haven't had a chance to check it out yet.
It's really cool because the company that makes that, they do one for warships, they do one for planes, and they do one for tanks.
Okay.
And it's just warship fighting. Like you're fighting, you've got a cruiser that you're, puttering along in the water and shooting cannons at other ships. The plane one is all aerial combat. The tank one is all tank combat. I played a lot of that one. It is so fun. And it's a free-to-play game, but it's definitely one of those where if you spend a little bit of money, you're going to get out of it. You get some more extra stuff to play with and have some fun. On those ones, there is a little bit of a pay-to-win aspect with them, but they're still fun to play.
We play a lot of Pokemon. I got Pokemon Sword. I got Pokemon Sword. He's got Pokemon Shield. We play a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. We still play Duel Links. I just got my invite to beta test Yu-Gi-Oh Cross Battle, so that's gonna be interesting.
Nice.
That's gonna be interesting. I'll be doing that middle of September, so I'm looking excited to do that.
We were just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh and how you just don't hear about it anymore. So yeah.
Oh, but with Cross Battle and Master Duel out and Duel Link still making a ton of cash for Konami, it's still relevant.
That's true. That's fair.
It's still relevant.
It's
Just put
They need to get it,
TCGs
they
are
need
going
to
to
get it
surge
around
back
here
too.
again.
Yeah, TCG is gonna start back.
I
TCGs
mean,
are gonna
with
surge back.
Pokemon as huge as it is right now in that regard, yeah, like there's been some things, except for Magic. Poor Magic, it's never going to get any love.
But I mean,
Sigh.
Magic is so well funded from the fanboys that it has, and it's become generational with Magic the Gathering. Like
Right.
I have,
That's
you
fair.
walk into any card shop and they've got drafts going. Magic has new sets coming out every month. Like I don't know how they're surviving. It's like Long John Silver's. It does not make sense to me.
You know, someone who doesn't particularly like fish, I never really liked going to Long John Silver's because their chicken is and their hush puppies, they're just really dry. I don't know, they taste good, but they're so dry. It's so hard to eat
Last
them.
time I went to Long John Silver's, I got sick and I ain't been back since.
You know what? Yeah, that's fair.
The only time I've ever tried hush puppies at Long John Silver's and they weren't dry was when I was in the Midwest. And I don't know if it's because they get a better quality oil since that's where most of it's made or what it is. But the hush puppies in the Midwest, like at the Midwest Long John Silver's, are about the only thing palatable because they're not dry. But everything else, yeah.
I'm thinking of it here in West Virginia, but when we were in Wyoming, I don't know if we ate at Long John Silver's. I don't recall that. I'm definitely thinking of here in the east, the easterners.
I'm not saying seek it out just to try their hush puppies.
That's it. I'm
right.
gonna
Don't
go.
do
I'm gonna
that.
try.
Don't do
No,
that.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And if it's
Do it,
not
Kay.
good, I
Kay,
am.
don't do it.
It's your fault.
Kay, don't do it, Kay. If something happened to you, we can't say you.
The hush puppies are
We
so
can't say
bad.
you, girl. Don't do it.
They're
Don't do
so
it.
bad. I wreck.
Don't
like
do
as
it.
I'm eating them.
Don't do it.
I
Boy.
No.
Well,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
trading card game, as expensive as a trading card game hobby can be, trading card games are something that can be fun to play with your kids.
Look, let
That's
me
true.
tell you. I played a game called Versus System back in the day. It put all the DC comics it put all the DC comic heroes and villains together. And before Konami got rid of it, I was playing in like $10,000 tournaments. The best I ever did was second. The best I did was second place. And that was twice. But I never got that big grand prize, man. But back then, and this is like back early mid 90s, later mid 2000s. Yeah, that was one of the few that was paying some big money.
Nice.
There was one that I did that was called. It was I think they're working on revamping it again right now. But Card Fight Vanguard. It was originally, so I did that competitively.
Didn't that get canceled?
I remember like I fell off after about the third season. They were starting to work into the fourth season of the show, and I kind of fell out of it. But I think they're working on rebooting it, from what I've seen from some of the people that I still know from that were in that community. But I competitively, and I was like, I had at one point I probably had 5,000 cards.
Wow!
Oh my god!
I had a huge Yu-Gi-Oh collection, but then I ended up selling the whole thing. But I had a huge collection. You could not tell me anything about the Dark Magician wasn't a true badass. You can tell me nothing.
Okay, I've got to cut you guys off because I'm going to hop back off here real quick. Before I go, Legos, ultimate thing for a child to play with.
Yes!
Ultimate.
Yes! I love Legos and all the video games. I love it. I love
the video
all the
games
Legos.
are a lot of
video
fun,
games
I will
rock.
say. Yeah.
Video game rock.
That one that Lego did where you have like you can do like the characters on the little platform and play them in the game, kind of like the Disney game.
Yes, actually, I did. Somebody gave me one of those. I think it was from like the Lego movie, which I actually have not watched the movie, but Mom did, and she said it was really good. I just
Lego Avengers, Lego Batman. Oh my gosh.
Also, you probably won't agree with me on this one, but I also loved Barbies so much, and
I can't go with that.
Polly Pockets, like the little tiny ones and the ones that were like a little bit bigger. But in I also liked regular boy action figures. Like I had toy soldiers and I had a lot of Hot Wheels. I still have Hot Wheels. I have tiny baby Hot Wheels now from Walmart. They're like this big, like the car is that big, and it's an
Awesome.
official
Micro
Hot Wheels car.
machines.
Yes,
Awesome.
I love those so much. I've gotten a lot of those.
Awesome.
But, okay, on that note, that's Mom did a lot of jigsaw puzzles. I know that's not a game, but we spent a long time.
Hey, you
doing
can
jigsaw
have fun with
puzzles.
those jigsaw puzzles, boy.
Hey,
And-
listen.
Hey.
Yeah.
You can have
Those
fun
are
with
a
them.
great thing to do and just have conversation with your family, like
Mhm.
your house
Right.
members. Like, you guys just have it going. You guys just start talking.
Mhm.
Puzzles
Model-
are just to keep your hands. busy.
Don't forget model kits too. Back in
You
the
know,
day.
we did do a couple of those too. I always
Yeah.
managed to get my fingerprints in the paint somehow, but besides that, they came out pretty good. All right, well, I will hop back out of here and enjoy the rest of the show, everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, those puzzles are nice, boy. Rubik's cubes are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Rubik's cubes. My daughter can come with those.
We would do game versions, like whether it was board game or video game versions of like Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune as well, or just some of the other game shows. Just something different so that you're involved. Just about building that time, spending time together.
Man, forget LeVar Burton. Let me be host of Jeopardy. I promise you. I promise you. I'll come in there crunk every night.
Man,
Every night.
was okay.
Every night.
I'll tell you what, let's go to a break. And I don't want to. That's a good thing to talk about. We're going to talk about that Jeopardy thing. Let's take a break. And when we
Love
come back, I'm
Jeopardy.
going to ask your opinion on that.
Okay.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
I'm gonna have to redo my contract at Pinfall Streams. How the hell Josh get to have all the pretty ladies on his shows? What the hell? I'm gonna have to redo my whole contract. Damn. I'm gonna have to renegotiate. I'm gonna have to renegotiate that. All right, just wait. I'm gonna renegotiate that thing tomorrow. I'm gonna renegotiate that. Wow. Man, look. The only time if Kay ain't producing, I'll get to see her unless I watch Double XP. If Pun ain't producing, I'll get Sarah unless she does Double XP. That's just wrong, man. That's just so disrespectful. It's disrespectful. You see how Josh do me, man? We're supposed to be boys, man. We're supposed to be brothers. And you see how Josh do me? That's just so wrong.
He just likes all the attention on him and that snow cone on top of his head.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
But really good shit. My deal, though.
So that first commercial, big shout out to repsports.com and Raise Energy for sponsoring Pinfall Streams. Use our discount code GGN10 on their website for 15% off everything. It supports us as well. So please definitely give them check them out and check out the limited edition strawberry lemonade flavor, only available on their website. The second commercial was for Drop the Mic, which airs every other Tuesday opposite Really Good Podcasts. 10 Eastern. Yep. With Josh and Pun talking all things music. Great combo this week. I was checking it out. I helped produce this.
You was
week.
actually produced that show. You were on there for a minute too.
I was on there for a minute too. I hijacked that motherfucker real quick. No, we were talking about music. It was a good time. Great show. I love Pun. She's amazing. Josh, well, he's there too. That third commercial was for Sports Report After Dark, which airs Monday at 11:30 Eastern after the Sports Report. That is me and Dirty Dan talking about the human side of sports, and I am also methodically explaining the proof that I have that Skip Bayless is a lizard person.
Look at that. Facts.
And
and Stephen A. Snake. Stephen A. Snake. How the hell are you gonna do that to Max Kellerman? That was just wrong. Yeah, you might not. You might not. He says it wasn't personal. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, man.
Steve, I know there was an article that said it best. I think it might have been one of the ones that you shared. Stephen A. Smith does not like not being the smartest guy in the room.
Right.
That's exactly what it is.
Right.
And ESPN is all in on Stephen A. Smith, and he's going to drive attention. But I would rather rely on Ben Simmons shooting in the fourth quarter than rely on Stephen A. Smith being accurate on something outside of basketball.
He's good on basketball. I give him that. He's good on basketball. He knows his stuff.
Watching, but you see, I feel like watching him commentate UFC is like watching Conor McGregor try to stand on that leg. It's just okay, all right. So let's talk about this. Oh, and then the other commercial, Double XP, which airs Wednesdays at 8 Eastern. I got the timer. I know I did. With Kay and Pun, sisters talking all things gaming related. Right here on Pinfall Stream. Again, great show.
Don't forget my dude Tyler.
And Tyler's on the show. I forgot. Yeah,
I can do my dude like that, man.
I'm sorry. I'm still getting used to it. Okay. But and of course Tyler joins them as well as they go into all things gaming related. Actually, they talked about Splitgate. I actually checked that out today. That game's pretty dope. So definitely a Portal meets Halo. I definitely see that comparison.
Listen, Tyler. Tyler need to fix his laptop. He need to fix his laptop. I don't know why he tripping. Fix it, Tyler. Fix it. Yeah,
right. I agree. But no, Splitgate is pretty dope. I definitely recommend that. But yeah, definitely check out Double XP 8 Eastern on Wednesdays right here on Pinfall. So okay, Jeopardy. They'd hired Mike Richards and Mayim Bialik for primetime. And now we're just going with Mayim Bialik right now as Mike Richards is gone because he said some offensive shit 10 years ago.
Cancel culture is real. But the thing that people forget, man, within a certain set of time, people change. People's thought processes change. People have that right to change. If it wasn't on their own, maybe a situation they were in made them change their thoughts, made them change their opinions. And cancel culture is so powerful that if you say anything and hit the send button, it can always be come back and haunt you. And I think it's unfair because, again, people grow. It doesn't matter a person's age to grow. I'm 50, but I might have some ways I can grow to be a better person, either at 50. So cancel culture is no joke. And I do not agree with it at all because a lot of times, man, people change their opinions, people change their mind, and people have a right to do that.
Absolutely. Well, and my thing is this, I honestly would not have picked Mike to be the new host. Honestly, I wouldn't. And I would have purposely gone in a different direction. Mayim Bialik didn't do too bad. I don't hate her choice for the choice of her for the primetime stuff. So I'm not going to knock that. But I think for the regular host, they really should have gone in the direction of somebody like Dr. Gupta, LeVar Burton. I mean, there was a few other options that they could have had. I think that going because when they went that direction, like it just.
I like LeVar for that.
I thought he did a great job. I honestly there were some people that didn't like it, but I mean that was because everybody spent the entire time trying to grade how they do, how well they did what Alex Trebek does. Right. I was looking for that. I was looking like what LeVar did. He made it his own thing. Like he paid respect to Alex. Like you could see it. But he made it his own thing.
And to be fair, no one's going to live up to that expectation.
Absolutely
nobody. To be fair, nobody's going to live up to that.
And it's unfair to hold anybody to that standard. Like
it really is.
I'm not going to hold when Rami Malek was playing Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. I didn't expect him to be I didn't expect him to be Freddy reincarnate.
Right.
I expected him to do it well.
Right.
And to portray it well. I didn't expect everything to be 100% accurate. I just wanted a good portrayal. That's what he did. Aaron Rodgers didn't do a bad job on Jeopardy, but he spent so much energy trying to be like Alex that it bored me.
And it takes away from what he could really do.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Like, if that was his retirement plan after football, he did not show it very well.
Nope.
And I don't blame him for wanting that to be his backup plan. Like, shit, I would love if I was like, hey, I'm going to retire from playing a game professionally to being a host of another iconic game show. Okay, great. No.
Be you. And the only thing you can really say is what you tell your kids. Be you. Don't be someone else. Be you. Don't try to be another person, because you don't have what that other person may have. Use your best talents. Use what brings you to the forefront. Be you. Don't try to be someone else. That's where you always mess up.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like with the fact that I've been working on voiceover stuff, it's like I've been getting ideas on different things to try just to kind of build a portfolio out. I'm not trying to be, Joe Buck. I'm not, of course I don't have the forehead for it, but no.
No one has the forehead for it.
I'm not trying to be Troy Aikman
exactly.
or Tony Romo. I'm just trying to be me, but I may I want to do it in this style that you commonly hear in this genre.
I swear, every time you see Troy Aikman, every time you see him on camera, he drunk. I swear he drunk. I swear he comes in smashed. That's what he does. The way his speech and sometimes the way his eyes look on TV, man.
I don't think he's drunk. I think the CTE is setting in.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. And he took some hits.
Especially quarterbacks didn't have the hit rules that they have now. Back in the mid-90s, you know how many hard ass hits he took?
Yeah, day you got smacked.
And I love Troy Aikman. Don't get me wrong; he was one of my favorites as a kid. But I worry about that dude.
Yeah.
I mean. But yeah, okay. So we say we're coming close to the end of our mind. Is there anything we're forgetting to do?
Yeah, we have to do the one and only thing that we do best, and that's dad jokes.
Oh, okay. Let's do that.
Yes.
All right, you can hit it off today, buddy.
Okay, I got you. What's Forrest Gump's password? One, Forrest, one.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. No. I'm not even I don't want to deal with it. You just
Oh, man, I'm telling you. Want to hear a joke about construction? I'm still working on it.
What did the police officer say to his belly button?
What did he say?
You're under a vest.
Oh my gosh. You know what, man? I've been waiting to do this for a minute. I wanted to go on a diet, but I feel like I have way too much on my plate right now.
You know why nurses like red crayons?
Why is that?
Sometimes they like to draw blood.
Oh man. Bro, what do you call a fish with two knees? A two-knee fish.
Oh my god, that's so dumb.
Oh, my joke. Oh, my Forrest Gump joke generated a question from the chat.
What generation is Forrest Gump a part of? Gen A. Oh god. Why is taking us to school from the comment section?
I swear right now, if Pump popped in here, I'd be laughing my ass off if she popped in right now. Oh my gosh. Oh my
What do you call
gosh.
an angry musician flipping someone off?
What?
A songbird.
Hey, does anyone need an arc? I know a guy.
My boss told me to have a good day, so I went home.
I went home. Exactly. Oh man. I've never gone to a gun range before. So I decided to give it a shot.
Why did the man fall down the well?
Why?
Because he couldn't see that well.
Ah. Oh man.
Okay, one more each.
All right. What do you call it? What do you call a hippie's wife? Mississippi.
What state has those streets?
What?
Rhode Island.
Oh my gosh. Boy.
Oh my gosh. We have way too much fun with this.
Oh, way too much fun with this. Way too much fun. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh man. Oh.
All right, so man, get ready to go to the last weekend of preseason football. I know you got a lot of fantasy football stuff coming up. Any final thoughts for you, buddy?
Last show. Definitely, guys. Make sure you take care of yourselves at the end of the day. It's so important that you do, because you have a list. We talk about self-preservation. We talk about making sure you keep yourself in line, and you need to do those things, but also understand too, particularly in a situation like mine, being a single dad, your kids look to you more than ever. So you have to be sure that not only do you take care of yourself, but you also make sure that you take care of yourself for them as well, because they look at you more than anyone else. And I've always said this, don't get me wrong, mom's important, very, very important. But the older a child gets, the more the father comes into play. So always keep that in mind. Take care of yourself, take care of your children, and go from there.
You know, and that my final thought is going to be this. You know, that link we shared earlier in the chat, the 30 inspirational quotes. One of those that I think is very important is always be your own kind of beautiful. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of difficult stuff going on in the world right now. A lot of things. Always be your own kind of beautiful, because the world needs it. The world needs it, and the world needs you. We can always use ideas for topics at First Generation Dad. Yes, next week is going to be our last episode for this season, but I, at least myself, probably will too at some point. We'll be generating some other content and stuff on the page. I'm going to be doing more sports content starting soon, so we will still be in touch.
Listen. Last episode is going to be our last dad jokes. We need Pun. So Pun, if you're listening, if you're still out there, you need to come on the show. Yeah, we're going to
need you. We need you next week.
You need to come on the show.
We need you next week.
You can between dad jokes and Puncher's Pun, man, please. Pinfall will never be the same.
It's so much funny in one place. Like it's going to be.
That will be epic. That will be epic.
All right. Well, for my producer, Kay, for
Thank
my
you, co-host,
Kay. Will, and for myself, have a great night. For those of you listening after the fact, please like and follow us online through our various socials, including First Generation Dad on Facebook, as well as the Pinfall Stream Facebook page and all the groups for all the different shows. Please definitely show support. And also big thanks again to Raise Energy and repsports.com. GGN10 on their website is the discount code for 15% off.
Yes.
Thank you and have a good night.
Take care, guys.